Hey, Pete.
Good morning, afternoon, I guess.
Hey.
Good to see you.
Am I recording? I think I am.
Alan, would you get everyone?
I've got one.
Theirs? Okay. Thank you. I'll get a bottle of water for us. I'll have a beverage. Here we go.
Thank you.
There you go, Virginia.
Thank you.
Don't say I never gave you something.
What, your generosity is under fire.
And I won't say that Pete didn't give it to you to give to me.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Pete. Thank you. Donna, before I forget, are you comfortable with talking with Rochelle about her plans?
Sure.
Thank you.
I guess I assumed everybody would be here.
I think it's the Fearsome Fifes. I could be wrong. Virginia? Uh-oh. I didn't get you, but I
You want to
almost.
see if you can dump it on
Well, no, I tried to dump it all over Alan's work.
me?
You're good, Alan. Sorry, buddy. No problem. Oh, haste does make waste.
You didn't coin that one.
No.
I thought I had the market on spilling water.
Oh, what a guy. So, Jim had some things, so let's work a little bit on an agenda. What I'd like to do with what we always do is look at it a little bit of a different perspective. Like, what does this give you permission to do? Above and beyond what regular non-officer members get to do. So we'll give you a minute to, after we set the agenda, to go ahead and read that and think about that response. And Jim, did you bring some things to share?
I really didn't.
Okay.
I might be reminded from time to time.
Okay. Anything beyond checking with Rochelle else that we want on the agenda other than kind of talk about our duties and how we're doing as a club? Okay, let's take a minute.
We will be getting into speech competition time. That will be coming up in February. So we're only like a month out or so from, we might start thinking about a speech contest.
Okay. Did someone get my Vice President of Education sheet? I don't have one.
Okay.
Oh, I think Virginia does.
Oh, okay.
So when Alan gives it
I'll
to
trade
you,
you.
I take it away. See, now Alan gave you two things.
Yeah, there you go.
Just one
And
way.
Thank you very
Don was
much.
only mean enough to take
Yeah,
one of the
Thank
two.
you for doing that.
So, when do we want to have our speech contest?
Well, I'm looking at our calendar here. I haven't seen anything as far as when it's late April is the thing in South Dakota, in Deadwood.
Okay.
So generally, we gotta stay toward sometime the meeting or the area contest would be over, most likely Bozeman or Great Falls, in probably toward the end of March.
Mhm.
Area backing it down to probably Miles City or Glendive would be a week or so before that, mid-March. And so we would probably be wise to do it early March.
Okay.
That would give us some flexibility.
Sure. Okay.
So I'm gonna suggest probably the second meeting in March,
Well, the second Thursday, you mean?
or second, yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
second Thursday in
Right.
March.
Right, okay. Okay.
For just our local club or?
Our local club,
Yeah.
and then get a hold of Linda and find out what she knows in terms of any planning for the area, which is normally held in Bozeman or Great Falls.
So we would have our meeting and then we'd get together with Miles City
As for the area competition,
and.
we always do a local and then an area, and
then they move on to what would be.
and then
very
someone
close
has the
memory.
right to move on, and Pete has attended any number of times, has attended area competition. Kristen Marble did in Billings. Jack Larson from down at Miles City on numerous occasions has won. Sometimes he's been able to attend, sometimes not, because of, he's a seed distributor in his ag business, and that is just absolute peak time. And so oftentimes he's unable to meet it, although he's a phenomenal presenter. He did present last time in Bozeman. Were you there, Pete, or was that just my wife and I?
Yeah.
He was there, and I think that he stunned some people. He didn't win it, but he got one. Did he win one, or did he get one second place? I'm thinking he got one second place. But anyway, I'll check with Linda Wolf and see if we've got something back. I don't have anything else on that, Pete.
Thank you. I'll give you a minute to tell us about your permissions. I have 11 permissions on my list. Permissions to do stuff. And since it's my harebrained idea, when you're ready, I'll go first, but I'll let you check your lists. You don't have to imitate me, because I don't need flattery.
Why not?
Just to say, intended. What's that? Oh, you should, yeah. You're yours forever. Is everybody kind of sort of ready? If I start? So, in years gone by, not all that many, good preachers and sales trainers who are very involved with the church teach us about the attitude of gratitude. And out of that comes this distinction. I have to, or I get to. And so here's what I get to do. Here are my permissions. One of the ones taking this look at it that I've never done before, where we kind of look at what can we do and what do we need help with, is, hey, I get to plan the meetings. That's kind of a surprise to me. I didn't realize that. It says well-planned meetings are enjoyable, it's productive and stuff, but that's the first thing on my list, is to plan meetings. So sometimes I felt a little bit living on the fringe when Donna was president. Now she's acting president, or when Rochelle was president. How much do I defer to her? And that's completely. But I get to actually do the planning. And then I get to promote participation. And I'm one of the ones, because I know you guys, some of you have permission to do this too, to orient new members, but that's on one of the things I get to do too. And then encourage new members to participate and assign a mentor to every new member and attend these meetings and preside when the president is absent. And other things that I get to do that I've been doing are to, I haven't done that, to attend district council meetings and international business meetings, but I have permission to do that. I also have permission to arrange for my replacement, and when I'm absent, and my successor when I'm totally absent. And then I get to go ahead and make sure new members, before their fourth meeting, do table topics, have a meeting roll, like timer, and give their icebreaker. I also get to ensure that members conduct presentations from the successful club series. Remember, when we're working on advanced, we need to do 2 of those, so I get to ensure that happens. I get to monitor club performance quarterly with the president, and I also get to, this is kind of interesting because it's different on the website than it is on this printout. I get to initial project completions, and it says help members to go ahead and apply, but actually, where we're now doing that online, I have to. That's something I both get to do, but there's only a few people at officers' positions that can go ahead and actually have permission from the website to go ahead and get people's awards done. And then when the president's absent, I get to preside over meetings. So I get to preside over 2 meetings, the executive meeting when the president is absent, and then also at regular Toastmasters meetings, I get to preside over those 2. So all teasing aside, except from Virginia, how well am I doing with what I get to do? Where am I falling short?
I would speak directly that you're falling short in no area that I'm aware of. When I was an area governor, a lot fell on your plate. This club went to a time where we just had to retain people in the same roles for more than 1 year, just out of practical, because we didn't have enough people with the right skills to rotate. You picked up this thing of the Vice President of Education and took it further than anybody that I've seen in my 10 or 11 year history at this club. I can only say good about it. You have really been, when I was off doing other stuff, you've really been the stalwart to keep this thing functioning.
I guess the one place that I see that's difficult is not so much initialing the books when people ask me to, but when a person's done, like Peggy, she's got 2 manuals done and she's done her 2 success series speeches, but I still don't have her award because I don't have her books. And so I think that's the place in the job that I struggle the most is one of the things I get to do too is when someone achieves something, note it to the president or to the club so that she or I can go ahead and announce their success. But sometimes that last step of getting I remember when I was a youngster way back working in the hospital, there was a sign up that looked like an army barracks, and a fellow sitting on the stool, and it says the job isn't over till the paperwork is done, and that's where I am with this. Sometimes that's the hardest part of my job. So enough about me, as they say. Let's go over to Donna, who's.
I have a question.
Yes, good.
What is an icebreaker?
That's that first speech that you give where you talk about you. Yeah, that's the manual says that's the easiest one because you're the world's expert on that topic. Yeah, good question. Any other questions or comments about me or my permissions?
I would just like to say thank you for doing such a wonderful job, and the agenda, the schedule is wonderful, and you always keep that up to date, and I think everybody gets that, and I'll always get an email. I appreciate it, thank you.
You bet. Well, I inherited that and we've improved on it by your guys' suggestions since then. Yeah,
Regarding getting the initials on the people's manuals that they've completed, would it be a good idea to maybe at the end of the meeting or the beginning of a meeting to just pound home that if you finish a manual, or when you finish a speech, come to me before you go on your way and allow me to initial them, and
that's a good idea.
maybe if just remind them of what they need to do in order for them to get the award.
If we make that our standard closing, like sometime last year, I realized that it was good for Donna to always ask if any of the officers had business as part of the meeting agenda. And if at the end of the meeting, whether I'm closing or Donna or Rochelle is, to always announce, remember, if you've completed a speech, get your manual
I mean, there's
to Pete initial.
usually people give speeches and they have their manuals right there.
Yeah. The harder part, and that is a great suggestion, the harder part is when they're totally done.
Yeah.
To go ahead and get them. But maybe that's what we should do is when that last one is done, I should just keep it.
Which brings me up, do you have my last CC manual?
I don't know, I'd have to check the trunk.
Yeah, please do, because I have torn my office apart trying to find it, and I just completed one here about a month or so ago, and I thought, I can't find that. I'm wondering if I gave that to Pete.
Let me check.
And if it does, it should be just submitted.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, I will check, yeah, very good.
But we're still at Donna.
We are back to Donna.
And I'm past president acting for President Rochelle while she's on leave, and we haven't heard from her as far as when she comes back, but I will contact her. And is her term up in June of this year, or is it next year?
Is it May 31st or the end of June? When does our new year begin? Is it July? It is.
July
It
1.
is, so end of June. Okay.
This year?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will contact her.
June 30th.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's one of those.
So shorter.
May has 31 days, June has 30, and I remember filling out those forms. It was always the 30th of the last month.
do I speak for everyone when I say that I think we want Rochelle to continue to
Sure.
go back to finish
Absolutely.
Ken
Sure.
and continue?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, as president, I get to develop and improve club leadership. Club presidents must facilitate the development and achievement of club and member goals. To do this, the president must ensure club officers meet officer and meeting standards. And I think that usually falls on to you pretty much, Pete, as VP Education, as far as you always make sure that we do have our training, which is good, thank you. President, search for leaders, ensure all club offices are filled for the succeeding term, and conduct timely elections. Prepare his or her successor for office. Club administration. Club presidents also must ensure that the mechanisms of the club run smoothly. This means attending to details and managerial issues such as oversee the administrative operation of the club in compliance with the club constitution and bylaws. Schedule and chair the monthly executive committee meetings. And I used to always send out an agenda, and I guess I stopped doing that when Rochelle took over, and I'll visit with her, and if she wants me to continue to send agendas, I will. I like an agenda. Advance club and member achievement. Presidents must focus considerable attention on how to achieve and maintain quality for the club and members. To accomplish this, the president must oversee the plan to achieve distinguished club program goals and ensure the club is distinguished. Ensure the club has an ongoing membership building program. And Nancy is our VP membership, and no, is she membership or is she?
She's membership.
Membership. Okay. Encourage communication and leadership development by promoting CC, AC, CL, and AL awards. Effective interaction with other organization levels. The president and the executive committee are liaisons between club members in the area, district, and international leadership. Effective interaction is one of our highest goals, and the following standards require the president to be visible and accessible to others. And I know I definitely fall short there, just because I'm not involved outside of our local club. But Jim does a very good job at that, thank you. Attend and vote the club's proxy at district council meetings or authorize a club member to do so. And we usually send our club vote with Jim. Attend the international convention and vote the club's proxy or send the proxy to the district governor. Maintain relationships with the district and with world headquarters. At the club meeting, the following standards identify the performance that the club president must demonstrate during club meetings to ensure the club is meeting the needs of its members in their efforts to achieve their self-development goals. Ensure the meeting starts and ends on time. Make sure guests are warmly and enthusiastically welcomed and introduced. Allow time before and after the meeting to speak with guests. Read and or display the club mission at every meeting. Discuss the distinguished club program and the club's progress and achievements in it. Recognize member achievements in Toastmasters and in their personal lives. Report on the moments of truth the club is achieving. Okay, so moments of truth, is that just basically our goals, where we're at, where everybody in the club is?
It's a specific presentation
Okay,
that I
I'm not
did
familiar
about
with
2
that.
years ago, so maybe I should do that again.
Actually, yeah, there is a PowerPoint presentation that goes with that. Yeah.
And
That's available to, it's on that little thumb drive that,
Well,
I have
just on my-
one copy or 2 copies at home, I don't know. I think there was another one floating around someplace, so.
Yeah, maybe we should ask if someone else wants to do that, and if not, I'll do it, like at the next meeting. Ask if, like, as part of your report on the executive committee, go ahead and say, is there someone working on an advanced manual that wants to do moments of truth, or do we want Pete to do it?
I actually did it one time in Great Falls for a training group up there. Forgot that until you, Why do I know that?
And it comes with handouts and stuff.
All right, suggestions for president and past president.
If Rochelle is still needing time, I like when you go ahead and do an agenda for these meetings. And usually you send it to me and see, is there something else? I like that too.
That is such a key part of any club or business organization, is putting that agenda together, because it really determines, on the city study commission that I'm currently serving on, that's one of the questions that, oh, I have stopped, even the mayor stopped cold in his tracks and revisited that after I had asked that question, who puts together the agenda? And it was in the leadership Glendive scenario, and it is so crucial. And if it comes from various department heads, or in this case, various officers, or anyone who happens to say, hey, wait, here's an opportunity, for that, putting that agenda together, keeping those lines of communication open.
And in the past, like Pete said, I would send it to him, see if there's anything he wanted to add, and then I would just send it to the executive committee. Should that be going to everyone in the Toastmasters Club, or just the?
Just us.
Okay.
Good, well, we better move along, because I promised the guy with the truck that was out there running, I'd be gone by 5 minutes of 1. Apparently I parked too close to where he wants his other truck at 1 o'clock. So, let's go with Alan, I think.
I should have had the lines of communication open. I mean, today I've just been like half a cog off of. I have the vice president of membership duties and not the treasurer's. And I was looking at it, and it just,
That means it's over.
It's
Here
on.
you go.
You got it.
I apologize for that.
So let's go with Jim
Yeah.
for a minute. What does the
Okay, on
secretary,
my-
what does the secretary get to do?
The secretary gets to do a bunch of stuff. Obviously record meetings, which is something that I enjoy doing, and personally has helped me become a better listener. I did not realize how far this secretarial assignment would take me. I'm secretary of the Ministerial Association. Basically, I run it for the president. I'm secretary of the City Study Commission. I make sure that we're in compliance with open meeting law. And Darcy Seaman over at the City Hall, she and I are good contact people, because she keeps me out of jail in terms of being legal with that. I am absolutely amazed at what this has led me to do. So from a personal perspective, there's 2 perspectives on this, my own personal, and then from the club perspective. The personal thing is, I've seen a great opportunity to require on-the-job training and better listening skills. Those are real pluses. And because of that, I've been, and something I've done kind of, and I have permission to do, because I granted myself permission to do, I contact all the area governors, division governors, and they get, almost all of them get our meeting notes. And believe it or not, I have people at conventions ask me for them. Our public relations officer, PRO, Peter Frumenti, he wants them. Brian Logston gets them, as does the trio. So that's something that I just started doing, because I thought, hey, how many clubs write up their minutes? I think it's precious few, maybe this many, and we're us. But you know what? It benefits every club that gets that, and that goes beyond. I get to, from a personal perspective, I get to go for 3 awards every year. I'll get maybe 1 or a couple in, and hard to get that 3rd one. I get to post stuff on Facebook. Or if I do find a really good clip, I post it on the Facebook page. I look at that as really a plus. And if I see something, I'll just make sure that it gets posted from YouTube or whatever source. Uh, One thing that our treasurer does better than anybody I know, I'll just say it out of turn here, Alan. This guy never misses an opportunity to say thank you or compliment. He just doesn't miss. And all I can say is thank you for not missing. It just, I mean, it just is a kind word here and there. Man, I tell you what, it keeps people doing what they're doing. In terms of, again, back to the personal thing, I get all kinds of opportunities if I just go back and revisit that CL manual. You know, I've done the CC manual about 5 times. I've done the CTM, which is predecessor. I've done 2 advanced communicator bronzes. I'm going to finish a silver sometime this year. And just go back and revisiting those things. And that's something that, and use different books, because we've got 15 books in our advanced communicator series. You only need 2 books to advance. You need 6 books to get to gold, plus the other assignments. You know, I look at this whole thing as this is great practical skill development, and then the communication opportunities, and then being able to witness how other groups communicate, being part of that agenda process. Wow, what a privilege.
Okay. We've got 2 more people, and then I've got a problem to discuss. So we've got about 15 minutes in total. Virginia, how about you? What permissions do you have? Oh, that's okay. He's still preparing.
All right. Just that, to be sergeant at arms, that's to attend the district sponsored club officer training. I've never done that. I don't even know where to have it. And I never scheduled a meeting location. I think Jim and maybe you change when we would be meeting. Maintain club equipment and check after every meeting to ensure adequate supplies are available. Pretty much try to do that. And to attend the executive committee meetings. Arrange for a replacement when unable to attend a meeting and for assistance if necessary. Not that it's just at the age I am, sometimes I forget all about the meeting until it's an hour after it's over with. So that's just all me right now. But to help prepare the room so that it's set up, or to go up and get the things and bring them down and take them back up afterwards. I try to do that. And I try to greet any visitors that come in, say hello to them, find out what their needs are, things like that. And naturally, I could get the ballots and the tally votes to count to.
Thank you. You actually recruited at least 3 people to cover in your absence.
I'm sure.
All of the boys sitting on this side of the table, and I think probably Donna knows how to do that job too.
Sometimes I didn't even remember it until 10 minutes before it would be over. There was no time to go in.
Is this on your list? One of the things that I noticed when we went to a meeting in Bozeman was that the sergeant of arms, who's taller than I am, for their club, was talking about he was responsible for sort of the peace and decorum in the room. Is there anything that you get to do, like kicking unruly people out or anything like that? Is Sergeant of Arms on your list? But is it on your list? Is there any? I just wondered about
I don't
that.
think so.
Okay. So you pretty well covered your list. Thank you.
I don't think Virginia's ever had it to kick anybody out, but she definitely sets the tone. And I know one day I was walking in and I was rushing. and she just stopped me and put her hand on me, and that was all I needed to just breathe and be, just calm. So you definitely do set the tone. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate all you people very, very much.
Jim, with all your stuff there, I didn't notice that you didn't have a glass of water or anything. Would you like some water?
Okay.
Okay, Alan? Thank you, Virginia. Well done.
Outside of the club meetings, prepare a budget to be approved by executive committee membership in 1 month of taking office. I guess in the past, we haven't really had a budget. I mean, I pay for some supplies that might be needed. And of course, I take care of the dues, remember the renewal dues, and I send those in. And that's basically all that I do, and I don't know if there needs to be a budget for, because you only have the one account. So, and I'm wondering what this next one is, provide the bank with a new signature card by July 1st and January 1st. Is that
Only in
something?
the event of a change of treasurer.
Change of treasurer, yeah, okay. I didn't think that I was supposed to, still be just my name on it. And the president, his name is on that as well, is that?
Sure, is your name on that
I
account
don't
or your
think so.
signature?
And it changes so often that
Right, the president, yeah.
Well, I'm not hoping this happens, but if Alan is run over by a truck, it's probably good to have an alternate signature.
Yeah, I know that.
I mean,
Who-
when I
who's on
took,
there?
when I took over, Ray Dean was the president, but I'm not sure just who. I mean, there's gotta be a second,
Could you call the bank and
Yeah.
find out?
yeah.
Who's
I
the
guess-
second on that?
Right. So should we be doing a new signature card every time we have a different president? Because who else has the rights? to
Access.
Yeah, access to that.
Or signatory
Should it
shower?
be the president or who
I would
else?
say not. I would say, like Jim or Pete that are gonna hold their positions, hopefully for,
Right.
a long time. And I know as for me as president, I can't be, on any treasury accounts just because of Edward Jones. Where that's
Oh.
a compliance issue I couldn't
Oh,
anyway.
okay.
So with president changing, every year, I would say that would
Right.
be.
I need to call him.
Why don't we get Jim on then if there's only one viable signatory right now? Is that okay, Jim?
That, I'll accept that,
Okay.
But that is a constant task where I'm involved with the church account and with other things, you just something you have to pay attention to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it is a good idea to have two signatures just for the fact that.
Well, you have an alternate,
Mhm.
if somebody gets run over by a
Yep.
truck,
Or
which we
can't
hope
get
never
to
happens.
it,
Or, takes a month's vacation to the
Yeah.
Bahamas.
Yeah.
Well, we said don't use the money. But Alan has that one already figured out, because we never have more than a couple $100 in the account. It's not worth going to jail over.
That's why he
It wouldn't
has,
even be, it'd be a misdemeanor.
that's why he has permission to do a budget.
Yeah.
Unless we're hosting a district conference, he doesn't need to do a budget. What else, Alan?
It says prepare and send due statements by August 15th and February 15th. I'm wondering if that wouldn't help the current members who want to renew their dues to maybe get them in a more sort of
Send him a little bill.
paper, document, or
Yeah.
would that be?
I guess if you wanted, since you have permission to do that, we could try it as an experiment and see what happens. Maybe Donna can bring it up at the meeting in case you're worried about people who would take it negatively, at least then they won't be surprised.
Right. Yeah. And I can make up a statement or whatever on that. Collect and pay pay dues to world headquarters by October 1st and April 1st, and work with the vice president of membership to contact members who have not paid dues. In the past, I just get the check from the people who renew, and then enter and send a check off to Toastmasters International. And I guess I've never paid them online.
You always send a check.
The club doesn't have a credit card, doesn't need one. So I've gone the snail mail route on that, and it seems to work okay.
I think that's good. That really prevents the embezzlement to go to the Bahamas problem.
Submit new membership applications and dues to world headquarters 48 hours after receipt. In the past, what I attempted to do, unless I guess if it's a new member, I send those in right away. Other than that, I like to, as far as members renewing, I usually wait till I have quite a few of them to send in, so I don't have to send more than three times to just to save on postage is what I'm thinking of there.
I think that 48 hours is new people.
I get those in as soon as usually the next day, if not the day of. I receive those. Pay bills as due. Not that we have any bills other than what we pay for supplies, things of that nature. Keep records of all financial transactions. I do that. Present verbal and written financial reports to the executive committee on a quarterly basis. Again, I haven't been really doing that. I've just been saying what's in the account at each executive board meeting. Submit club accounts for audit. Again, the only account we have is the one. I guess I have not been doing that. Attend executive committee meetings, which I have. Attend district sponsored club officer training. I have not. I mean, is this considered district change?
No, this would be just a local.
So I have not been doing that. Arrange for replacement when unable to attend a meeting. Prepare your successor for office. And at club meetings, receive completed new membership application and dues. I've been doing that. Announce when dues are due. And explain dues structure. The last membership meeting we had, Donna asked me if I had anything from the treasurer's side of things, and I should have taken that opportunity to, mention that we're gonna have dues are coming up and we've got this discount if you pay it early. I did not do that, but that's something that I might want to either send out an email or something to let people know again that what the charges will be for that. A lot of time before and after the meeting to speak with guests. I usually don't get to the meeting real early, but I usually stay afterwards and if nothing else, help with the cleanup, and if there are other people there, I try to talk with them as well. It's about it for what I'm doing.
Right.
And is there anything that I need to do more of, or not with something I'm doing is not?
One of the
need to
things
be
that,
improved?
you mentioned attend area meetings and that sort of thing.
District.
We don't have those. In fact, is under our current district director, Kathy Anderson. She flew over to Bismarck from northwestern Montana just this past weekend, and they did one of those things for the first time ever. So these are We don't have that kind of structure developed.
Okay.
There are one fellow who was a district director, had 6 clubs within 16 miles of it. And they used to do that kind of thing because, I mean, nobody had to drive more than 10 miles to a club or to an area meeting, and they could compare notes, collaborate, and on speech contests and any number of other things. But we're so far and few between with small clubs that those are not practical in our area. So don't apologize for not having that infrastructure. It doesn't exist.
I think all of us have permissions to do things that we don't have to do. One of the things we do have to do though, and so it says one of the things that I didn't realize I had permission to do was to monitor club performance quarterly in cooperation with the president. So I'm gonna do that right now in 3 minutes or less. Because I don't want this guy being real upset with where I parked my car. We do quite well. Like, we've made a huge change since I started coming back to the club. Every speech comes out of a manual. Every speech is a manual speech, and that's something that Brian asked when he was here. So we know that's important, and we know we're doing well with that. We always have at least 2 speeches, and we shoot for 3 always. One area where we're struggling kind of goes hand in hand, and I think Nancy has done her best, and I don't know about Stacy. But what I'm seeing as a result of this is that since we moved to the hospital, we have fewer new members than anticipated. And I think that's gonna kill our club. In spite of us all doing a good job, we don't have enough people to pick from. This is how, from scheduler, we don't have enough people to pick from for all of the jobs. So a lot of times we're doubling up. Plus, in the last, since November, I would guess, it's been really hard to get 3 speeches scheduled. And I think that's because we got less people attending. We've got a lot of people on sort of inactive, paid up status, but they're coming to so few meetings, they're not ready to give a speech or that. It's wonderful when they show up and help out with leadership roles, and they've got great skills. So I'm thinking I don't want to problem solve this because there's not enough time, but I'd like for all of you to think about how can we as a club deal with this. You know, literally, since we started that contest when Brian was here, Brian's been the only visitor. And that was really before the contest. So really, right now, all of us in terms of that contest have a 0. And so I'm thinking, you know, I don't know if the administrator that works on assigning the room will do it, but I did an email to her inviting everyone at GMC to drop in on a meeting. Not because I wanted points or money, but because I'm thinking, wow, I got to be hanging out with the wrong people because I asked them to come to meetings and they never come.
And I thought moving to the Carney Center would have been a much better location, you know, to get more people in.
Yeah. And I know Nancy's kind of under the gun that they're shorthanded in her department, and so she can't make every meeting. She feels like there's too much going on with her job. So like last time, she was scheduled to give a speech, had the speech ready in the last minute, got a hold of me and said, we're 1 down in my department, I can't come.
Mm-hmm. And how about Stacy?
I
Did you
don't
ever hear
know.
from her?
She has become more and more and more involved in leadership Glendive at the expense of Toastmasters. And she's very involved in leadership Glendive. She attends a lot of board meetings. She's there during the actual day of the month, and so, you know, and I watch that as well because she was going to post these videos or these things and has never done it, and so you know, she kind of fell through them for us.
Yeah, and so without the PR, it's harder to get members we haven't heard of, and so then, you know, we're left with our friends and acquaintances to try to recruit. So we might just be thinking about this before our next meeting in 3 weeks or whatever it is. What can we do if we're not seeing visitors? We're not seeing first timers. So I gotta go.
Yeah.
That guy was very polite to me, not making me move my car because there were no other parking spaces.
Well, thank you, Pete.
And thank you all.
Thank you.
You don't want to see, I want to resign from the, what was it?
Meeting's closed.
Something else.
We'll take that up next meeting with you. Because I know you're planning on making a big move.
I don't know. Depends on if God wants me to go up to Washington State or move to
Okay.
Nebraska. Depends on him
Okay.
and when he wants me to go.
So we need to be thinking about a replacement for you, right? Okay, so members and replacements.
Okay. Recorded.
Now, and I might, now, at the beginning of the meetings, when I normally ask Jim and Pete if they have anything, do you want me to ask you if you have anything, or would you rather I did not?
I
I guess I can ask you, and if you don't have anything, that's
Yes,
fine,
please,
okay?
please ask. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, that's,
And then, cause it always gives you just another little plug to say renewals, and,
absolutely, yeah.
and then I might even just ask you your thoughts on your duty as treasurer,
What's that?
and that you may start where you wanna send out
Okay, I will.
paper invoice statement, you know, just to try as something new.
Right.
You know,
Just kind of give them a
another-
heads up on that.
Jim, I'll check that
So I
tonight.
will ask you
Right.
on
I'm up
Thursday.
to see my doctor in Billings, so probably won't be
Hey,
till next week that you know whether I found it.
not an issue, not
But I
an
will
issue.
check.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank
Thank you, Pete.
you. Thank you all.
Oh, really? Nothing but the best to you, ma'am.
Well, thank you. Or for you either.